Sure.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the
Yeah, sure. If I
Pam,
could,
could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
Yes.
That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
How dare you bring up my BFF? I still have the half the heart. I have this half the heart. Old Jeffrey has the other one. How dare you ask why we came out and said he worked all alone? The lone gunman, Jeffrey Epstein, 10,000 tapes used for blackmail. How dare you use this cabinet meeting, this sacred time, asking us in a maximum security prison how the guard could conveniently fall asleep right at that time? How the camera could conveniently leave out that minute when he killed himself. How dare you? How dare you come into a cabinet meeting and ask this? And honestly, the only conspiracy here
is why I still let you all ask me questions.
That reporter tried to waste time. Why we could be talking about, I don't know, this?
Painted the room a nice color, beige color, and it's been really something. The only question is, will I gold leaf the corners? You could maybe tell me my cabinet could take a look. You see the top line moldings, and the only question is, do you gold leaf it? Because you can't paint it. If you paint it, it won't look good, because they've never found a paint that looks like gold.
Can't
You see
paint
that
it
in the
gold.
Oval
We
Office.
have too much
They've tried
important
for
stuff
years and
to
years.
talk
Somebody
about.
could become very wealthy, but they've never found a paint that looks like gold. So painting it is easy, but it won't look right. And the question is whether or not we should gold leaf it. Linda, do you have an opinion?
Linda,
You like it the way?
Linda, do you
gold
have an
leaf it?
opinion
Who would
on
gold leaf
Jeffrey
it? Could I
Epstein?
raise you? How about, would you gold leaf it?
We can't discuss Jeffrey Epstein because this meeting is too important. We have a mix of successes. We have a mix of tragedy. Oh, come there, Linda! Linda! Do you think we should go and leaflet gold, Linda?
And then you have, this is very exciting to me, he was not a Republican, to put it mildly, but
We
he
have
was,
current issues to
full
talk
term.
about.
He was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And have you noticed there were a lot of ramps outside? We have ramp, people say it's an unusual
someone say
place.
ramps?
It was because of
Not you.
him. He was wheelchair bound, but he was an amazing man. It's an amazing.
Look at Marco sitting next to him, taking all this in. You sold your soul for Grandpa rambling. Do not ask me about Jeffrey Epstein. All right, we have important issues. I've discovered that FDR, get this, I don't know if you guys knew this, one of America's most famous presidents. I don't know if you knew this, but he was in a wheelchair. So they needed ramps because he couldn't walk. This is an important meeting where you shouldn't be asking questions like, was Jeffrey Epstein a CIA asset? All right, let's get into something serious. Russia using chemical weapons on Ukraine, an international crime. Surely, between Pete Hegseth, between that skunk Tulsi Gabbard, someone has put it into a pop-up book for Trump to understand, right? I mean, I know the gold trim in that room is distracting to him. I know catching us up on FDR's situation is distracting to him. But please tell me someone in that room has caught him up to what's going on with World War III.
great pictures and artwork. And I picked it all myself. and
We're
got
all
proud
very
of it.
impressed
That's
that you picked out the
Andrew
artwork.
Jackson, great Andrew Jackson. That's
Has anyone told you
gentleman named-
about
and we call
Russia?
him President Polk. He was sort of a real estate guy. He was, people
More
don't realize he
president
was one of- he was
trivia. Come
a
on,
one-termer.
fast forward.
On Ukraine, the Ukrainians have asked the international court to go after Russia for using toxic chemicals in the fight. Germany and Chud had
Time to shine. They're asking.
saying that. What does U.S. intelligence believe, and what do you believe about the use of chemical weapons? And would you agree that that's a case for
Well, ask John maybe to
Ask
discuss it.
John.
If you'd like, John.
He has to whisper to the drunk.
President, obviously, chemical weapons, if it's documented and its use, it's illegal. It's against all international laws of armed conflict and treaties. And obviously, I can't share in this room with this audience the intelligence that I can share with you privately, but obviously, you're not going to stand or allow for any violations of international law by anyone.
He's telling Trump what he's going to do. You're not going to stand for it, President. Obviously. But right here, he finally gets a serious question, which he says this meeting is for. This is a meeting of serious questions. I'm a serious guy. He nudges Pete, who's been up all night on a bender, right? Hey, Pete, you know anything about this? Nah, man. Why would I know anything about it? Was it in the Signal chat? Ask John over there. Oh, okay. Hey, John, do you know anything about this nuclear world power that invaded its neighbor that is now using chemical weapons? Who's John? I mean, I'm too busy talking about the trim in the room, John. And Tulsi did not put this in a picture book for me to understand, so I can't deal with what? Chemical weapons? The only thing I'm chemically bonded to at this point is this wallpaper discussion. Linda, what do you think of the wallpaper?
Please get back to a subject I'm an expert in.
Shorter, they're made by different companies. They have different stocks.
Windmills.
They have different blades. They have different everything. It is so horrible. And if you look at smart countries, they don't use it. Smart countries don't use it. And we're now a smart country. We're not we're a brilliant country.
We're
not smart. We're brilliant now. We're going to be a brilliant country. We have to be because we have to catch up for some really stupid people that did a bad job. Yes, Brian? Yes.
We're a smart country. 35% of the people of this country can't read above a 6th grade level. This was the guy who said,
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
smart countries do not use renewable energy. We were in Amsterdam earlier this year. By the end of this decade, Amsterdam will be 100% on renewable energy, right? Is Amsterdam not a smart country? Are they not engineering geniuses? Have been for the past 1,000 years? Even Elon Musk propaganda bot right here, right? Let's get an update. Margaret Segian with a palm tree in the middle of her name, and her picture's on the beach. Margaret is living the life, but I guess she's strolling Twitter from the beach. Grok, is Trump right about wind energy being a poor choice for smart countries? Trump is off base. Smart countries like Denmark, 58% wind power. Germany and China heavily invest in it. Wind's renewable, emission-free, and cost-effective long-term, but intermediate and pricey up front. Far from horrible, it's a smart bet for clean energy future. And then Grok probably went on to say that there's a genocide in South Africa or whatever Elon's pumping into its brain right now. But that's even Elon's propaganda bot, Grok. Smart countries. What a smart meeting covering a bunch of topics, right? Maybe we could talk about the drapes next. Do the drapes... Hey, Trump, do the drapes match the carpet? I don't know what... Let's cut that part out. In this meeting where we can't talk about Jeffrey Epstein being a CIA asset, we can't talk about why the supposed list is gone. This meeting's too important for that. This meeting's too important. Now glaze my tiny tangerine oranges.
Off. But you know what? God bless America. Because at the end of the day, President Trump is here, J.D. Vance is here, and the greatest cabinet ever assembled to deliver that much needed and highly demanded accountability.
These balls will not lick themselves. Yes, clap. This is the important stuff. We can't talk about Epstein. Am I hammering it too hard? Because Lee Zeldin is glazing my balls right now. Texas, the tragedy in Texas. Any update on Texas?
A lot of fun. Thank you very much.
What about Texas?
Thank you.
FEMA?
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
I'll tell you some other time. Thank you.
I'll tell you later about FEMA in Texas. Caitlin Collins, I'm too busy. Meeting's too important. Talking about the gold trim in my office. I'm not talking about the trim in my office. I'm not talking about you, Caitlin Collins. Wink. Only a matter of time before he says that. I'll tell you later how Republicans gutting the government from the federal level all the way down to the state level has led to a place where you can count on hundreds of people dying every year needlessly in these states. And then those states coming and begging for federal dollars because they don't plan for any of this. I could tell you about it. But not right now, Caitlin Collins. Now make sure when you're leaving, everybody, to check out that ramp out there. That FDR ramp. I mean, Pete Hegseth grabbing a martini on his way out. Good meeting, everybody. J.D. Vance putting on that eyeliner to head back to the bathroom to masturbate with anger at that old picture of his mom he keeps in his pocket, naked in that trailer park community shower, just furiously masturbating while the mascara runs down his eyes because I'm going off into my room, Trump says. I'm going off into my room to sundown. I've done my part. John, whoever you are, John, you're in charge now. The Chud Report. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Make sure you give it a like. Make sure you subscribe. A lot of people are becoming members, so thank you. You're directly supporting the channel. It's $2.99, right? $3.99? $2.99? I'm going to start doing lives again. I think we're to a place where we can do lives again. So I'll see your comments highlighted when you comment on this video. If you're a member, your comments are highlighted. I get to you guys first. And, you get to see some of the content before it goes up. Whether a day in advance, 2 days in advance, whatever it is. So become a member if you want to support the channel. And to everybody else, I love you. Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. The Chud Report.
And then you have, this is very exciting to me, he was not a Republican, to put it mildly, but he was, he was a four-termer. He was Franklin Delano Roosevelt.